When you think about the most significant transfer windows in Arsenal's history, this could well top all of them. 97-98 with Overmars and Petit was significant, and 2000-2001 with Laurent, Pires, Wiltord was major. But this could actually top both of those. Noni Madueke. Welcome to us. How are we feeling then, now that it's finally here? Madueke is an Arsenal player, it is official, he signed a 5-year contract. Mikel Arteta really pushed for the deal, believing he can thrive at Arsenal, and doesn't view him as backup. Does not view him as backup. I just had to check that I read that. And we're back. We've altered the list a little bit as well, because of course we do welcome Noni Madueke to the incomings to add to the Zubimendi, Norgard and Kepa that have already been brought in. Noni Madueke signed his contract at Arsenal, valid until June 2030. What do you think about that, eh? 5 years of Noni. Arsenal are very happy with the fee paid for Noni Madueke and are adamant that it will be seen as an excellent business deal in a few years' time. Mikel Arteta is really keen. He's really keen. You know, he's supposed to be the man behind this deal. £50 million. Let me know your thoughts. It ended up being about 48.5 initial fee. Structured over a few years. 5-year contract. Don't know about his wages yet, so we'll have to decide how we feel about this. But if it is just 50k a week that he is on, and the payments are staggered over a number of years, then I think that might be the going rate for a player of this quality. Elanga's gone for 55, Morgan Gibbs-White's gone for 60, and Sklitton, who they're bringing in at Chelsea as a replacement, I guess, for Madueke, is also costing 50. The more I watch of him, the more I think he's got something. You know, he's quick enough. He does go for it a lot. He gets to the byline and beats his man most of the time. He's one of the best ball carriers in European football. But there are negatives as well. Like, he's quite clumsy. His touch isn't great. His shooting is all over the place. These heroes of yesteryear, these icons of the game, these legends, these trophy winners. This is what Gyokeres and whoever else comes will be trying to emulate. Hello, mate. I've been doing quite a lot of mental gymnastics trying to convince myself that Noni Madueke is the answer. And yeah, he's not as bad as, icons. Yeah. It's actually quite sad to see that tunnel, which used to be full of murals, celebrating the club, has just been destroyed, defaced, and they've had to erase everything. We've been crying out for personalities. Mavericks who will take the game by the scruff of the neck and try and be the hero. And I think Madueke is one of those. So what do you think then? Will Chelsea regret selling Noni Madueke for £50 million? Exceptional ball carrying skills. He'll get to the byline. He should be hungry. It helps them get players off the books, which means others can be registered. On the England international stage, he's been given an opportunity there and he's done quite well. I don't see why he can't do the same at Arsenal. Sorry, am I seeing this right? 80 shots, 7 goals. 80. Noni Madueke. Ademola Lookman keen on an Inter move. After further contacts tonight with his camp, Inter will soon submit their bid. Atalanta want more than 40 million euros. So we could have got Ademola Lookman for Madueke's price. His stats are really impressive in some areas, and in others they're frighteningly bad. I mean, he's a risk, isn't he? And I guess the jury is really out on a guy who doesn't look that great from the left, but looks like he may well be starting on the left eventually, at least getting considerable game time from the left-hand side this season for Arsenal. With Bakayoko moving to Leipzig from PSV for 20 million euros. Sorry, love, hello. Which could help further down the line to bring in a superstar, or that little cherry on top of the cake that we all are begging for. It looks like Rodrigo is being linked to Liverpool right now. They are in talks. And they have got their own striker, little merry-go-round of their own going on. Which Swedish footballers do you know?
Larsson?
Larsson? What, Henrik Larsson?
Yeah.
All right, go on, that's good. Any others?
Zlatan?
Wow, good. Good effort.
That's all I got.
Huge statement for the club, that will be. 68 plus 55, though, means we've got a lot more money to spend. And we are shopping like a super club. Let's not pretend we are acting like a big club at this stage. Like, this is a market that would have been Arsenal done. You're crazy. What, two £50 million pounders? No, those were record signings up until quite recently. Arteta is consistently breaking records as far as money spent, and the money invested in Gyokeres is in itself a big risk. Sesko's name does still keep cropping up. There's lots of fans who clearly wanted him instead, and it will be interesting to see where he ends up. And he could be part of the striker domino effect that seems to be happening in Europe right now, with Isak, Ekitike, Darwin Núñez all on the move. Liverpool have made club-to-club contact with Newcastle to discuss a record bid for Alexander Isak. £120 million package is being prepared. A minute ago he wasn't for sale. Now he's £120 million that it might be happening. It all looks like the domino effect is ready to take place. But do you know what's hilarious? You've made 49 videos convincing people that Kai Havertz is God's gift on a football pitch. But when it comes to Viktor Gyokeres, where are you? Yeah? How many goals for Gyokeres in the Premier League this season?
Minimum of 20. I don't think we'll get Golden Boot, but I think we'll get minimum of 20.
Who are you anyway? You've never kicked a football in your life. You used to skip PE. You don't have any coaching badges. You live at your mum's and you eat ham and cheese sandwiches from the petrol station.
26.
That's a very precise number.
Yeah, I've got 26. Yeah, go with 26 league. I think he'll kill it in the Prem. I think he'll do fantastic.
Thank you for your interest in our affairs. But this guy hasn't tweeted about Gyokeres for 2 days, and Arsenal and agents remain in talks to get the final green light. What are they doing? Negotiations between Arsenal and Sporting remain ongoing in London with all parties involved. After commission reduced by agent, €63.5 million fee, Sporting ask for 10 million add-ons. Arsenal and agents remain in talks to get the final green light. So the Gyokeres wait goes on, but they're talking about it being a £55 million initial fee, which is kind of amazing, really. Barely any more expensive than Madueke. I know he's a flight risk, but is he that much of a flight risk? I think people are going to be shocked by how good this guy is. I'm growing tired of it. I just want to do the celebration, you know? Come on, lads. Berta, put your finger out, mate. What a signing this would be. He runs endlessly. He runs the channels like no other striker in world football right now. He's comfy on both feet, and he loves to score goals. He shoots for fun. He's aggressive. He's fantastic in the transition. I actually have no idea why people aren't actually over the moon about us even being linked with this quality of player. We've arrived on the biggest stage of them all, and players only want Arsenal. Yeah, I'm watching Noni Madueke compilations just to try and make it make sense. He's going to lose the ball a lot. It's going to be quite frustrating to watch him. I guess that's just something that happens when you're trying stuff. And he is trying stuff quite a lot of the time. He works for himself, essentially. Averaging about 4 shots a game in the Premier League is insane. The problem really is quite simple. If Trossard and or Martinelli leave, it looks quite likely that he's going to get a lot of game time on the left-hand side. And I'm just not sure that he's good enough. Trossard's being linked to clubs all over the place, so we will be adding him to the maybes in the exits. I guess we'll do that under here. Mikel Arteta really pushed for the deal. Does not view him as backup. Yeah, I mean, inevitable. He's a £50 million player, and you know the worrying thing is that Arteta also pushed for Sesko. He's pushed for Havertz. He's pushing for players who are their adopted children and they need help and therapy, and it's a risk as to whether they'll be able to take part in society effectively or not. Everything's a risk though, isn't it? It's a risk crossing the road. The Arsenal manager is convinced Noni Madueke is about to explode under his management. To be fair, he said the same thing about Raheem Sterling, mate. Can't really put Ethan Ranieri in the incomings list, but it is basically a hashtag like a new signing. Big deal, especially for a young kid like this. He's now one of the highest paid youngsters in the Premier League. Packed with potential, you know what it is. He's an Arsenal boy through and through, and I guess with everything that happened, or has happened over the last few weeks, for this last couple of months, Arsenal PR team really sort of had to get this done. You know, there would have been a riot outside the Emirates had this gone any other way than him signing a long-term deal, which he has. Exciting times, and an opportunity for him to become an icon at the club and have a lot of success here. Apparently Dortmund offered Ranieri a Bellingham-esque style route to the top in a bid to sign him. He's super talented. I don't think we've seen the best of him, and I'm expecting his career to carry a similar trajectory to that of Miles Lewis-Skelly. So it's great to see that contract has been sealed and signed. Now, there's some talk of Mikel Arteta wanting Eberechi Eze to be the final piece of his jigsaw. How many pieces are there to this jigsaw as well? He's another fantastic ball carrier, and with Madueke, Gyokeres and Eze, we are turning into an incredible transitional team who will be able to see between the lines and take on teams who want to play a high line. It's exciting. The fact that we are now attacking the forward market. Players who are electrifying to watch. They score goals for fun. Ballers. Next on the list, new centre-back, left-footed, left-sided, Spanish under-21 international, Christian Mosquera. I don't know what to think because I haven't watched enough of him yet, but from what I can see, he's quick, he's strong in the challenge, and he's another defender. So he will be probably taking the place of, I would imagine, Kivior. He's back up to whoever is out, and he's got potential sell-on value being that young. We add him to the list at £13 million, which we don't really know whether that's a bargain or not because we don't know how good he is, but he plays for the Spanish under-21, so probably worth a gamble. The only piece really missing is the left wing, and if we are able to move on the likes of Vieira or Reece Nelson and Zinchenko, perhaps there is enough money to bring in a bit of Samba on the left. Several clubs have started to move for Nicholas Jackson as his exit from Chelsea remains possible this summer. Please God, no. Is there only one shop on the high street or what? The more deals we get over the line this window, the worse it looks for Edu. What an absolute shit show he was running. 2 out of the last 3 windows we haven't even signed a player, let alone sold one for more than, £5 million. It's actually frightening the amount of players that are leaving for free. But hopefully that will change with Berta, and he is being judged on the incomings, but it will be interesting to see how much money we can get for some of these players leaving. Reece Nelson does look like he's on his way out of the club. Fulham have offered him a deal. I think his wages are probably going to be an issue as far as Arsenal getting much money for him. And they probably just want to get him off the books at this stage. Other potential exits we've got to talk about: Zinchenko. I guess Kivior needs to be added to this as well. You just never know with Mosquera being brought in like that. And I get the feeling that Fabio Vieira's time at the club may well be coming to an end as well. So if we get rid of these 5 players at these predicted prices, which is quite unlikely, I will say that, but £78 million that would bring in, that gets you a Rafael Leao, a Rodrigo, definitely gets you an Eze with spare change left over as well. So Spanish press is saying that Rodrigo to Arsenal is less likely to happen than ever, almost impossible. And I reckon they're basing that off the fact that we've signed Madueke already for 50 odd mil. Gyokeres is coming for 55, and we're probably not going to have much left over if we do get an Eze. If you do want to actually bring in a Leao or a Rodrigo, you're probably going to have to sell someone else. And I'm saying prime target is probably Martinelli at this stage. Martinelli and Kivior's price, maybe we can get a bit more for that. 25 seems a bit cheap. So if we add up Gyokeres and Eze, 68 and 55, 1, 2, 3 here, that's what we've got to spend. If you want a Rodrigo and a Leao as well, it's going to cost you about $70. That's 193. So 193 plus 130, 323. So we're going to have to offset that with this. This is going to become key because that is going to be too much money. We should be able to spend around 200 million without any PSR concerns, but that 78 million will definitely help to bring that down to 245 mil. So we do need this puzzle to be completed this season. Trophies are required. The amount of cash that is being splashed is actually outrageous when you think about it. But Eze would cost about £60 million. He does seem to be up for it, and he is a former Arsenal man, so it makes a lot of sense. Let me know in the comments below if you're happy with the deals that we're doing, the players we're bringing in, and those who are looking like they're making an exit. Until next time, peace.